The verb as. The verb as, to be, asserts with emphasis the existence of something or somebody. On the other hand, hoti is not emphatic and is used also to state attributes. The minister is a priest, etc., and of something which happens or becomes. A man is, becomes, pleased, etc. So such sentences we had before. The usual and more emphatic verb for becomes comes into existence, however, is upachati, third conjugation. The verb as is very irregular. The present tense is as follows. In the third singular, atti, and plural, santi. Second singular, assi. Second plural, aṭṭha. And afterwards asmi, amhi, and bahuvachana plural amha, amha. Frequently, as is used, unlike other verbs, at the beginning of a statement. There is. The meaning is emphatic. The meaning is emphatic assertion of what is stated. So one example of this would be aṭṭhakathā, there is body. So hoti could not be used here at the beginning of a sentence, but atti can. Negation. There are two main negative indeclinables, na and ma. The first is the usual negative not placed in front of the word or phrase negated, or at the beginning of a negative sentence. Here, tvam na passasi, you do not see. So you, tvam, which is also expressed by the ending of the verb, passasi, you do not, na passasi, see. The vowel of na is often elided when the word following it begins with a vowel. Here, na atti becomes natti. It is not. It doesn't exist. The second negative is used for prohibitions or negative injunctions or wishes, usually with the second person of the aorist tense, which loses its time reference and applies to the present or future. Sometimes a verb, otherwise augmented, appears without the augment in this construction. Paridevesi means he lamented or he grieved, and with this ma in front, ma paridevesi means don't grieve. So here the aorist tense loses its past tense and becomes present. More rarely, ma appears sometimes with the particle eva or ha, eva, which is emphatic. So heva, this is emphatic particle ha, indeed with elision of its vowel before another vowel. So it appears with eva or heva with the third person of the verb. Ma heva raja kalam akasi. May the king not die. So maheva means don't or simply not. So it's difficult to render all the particles individually. Hence, this is more or less a fixed phrase. Maheva, may not. Raja, the king. Kalam akasi, do his time, meaning die. Ma with the third person appears regularly in polite address. A double negation is equivalent to a strong affirmation. Maheva ko kumaro na racham karesi. Don't let Maheva na racham karesi. Nak racham karesi means not rule. So kar is the karesi is the aorist third person singular of kar, of the causative of kar karoti. So kar karoti, do make, causative, kar kareti meaning cause to do. So cause literally racham kariti means caused to do the kingdom, meaning to rule. And then in the past, rajam, in the aorist, rajam karisi, meaning he ruled. So, and then, of course, with this prohibition, with this negative indeclinable putting in front, so may he not rule, ma rajam karisi, may he not rule, or maheva, may he not rule, but then maheva na rajam karisi, may he not rule, or then don't let Kumaro, the prince, not rule, na rajam karisi, meaning let him rule, or he must rule. So minus plus minus becomes, or minus times minus becomes plus, something like this. The aorist of vach. The aorist of the verb vach, to say, is very irregular. Third person singular, avocha, he said, and avochum, plural, avocha, avacha, avochutta, and avachutta, avocham, avochumha, avochumha. So either short or long vowel at the end. From the aorist of vach, you can at first remember avocha and avochum. Avochas used very often, for example, eta avocha. And usually in this construction, here eta avocha, usually in this construction, x nominative, y accusative, eta avocha. So x said to y, x said avocha, this etat to y. For example, when the Buddha speaks to Ananda, so Bhagava Anandam etat avocha, or the other way around, Anando Bhagavantam etat avocha. So vocative case. The vocative case, or nominative of address of masculine nouns in a, has in the singular merely the uninflected stem, deva, O king. The plural is the same as the nominative plural. The vocative is used enclitically, i.e. it does not stand at the beginning of a sentence. So the vocative case is the case of addressing somebody. In English or in other languages, we usually just use the name of the person, or we say if the person has a title. Well, it's a bit difficult to render this, but usually we address the person either with a name or with a title. But the usual translation for the vocative in English is putting this O in front, O king, so which is declined in the short a declension in masculine nouns, for example in deva, as same as the stem, so deva. This means the vocative case. So somebody's addressing the king in this case. As for the vocabulary, we have 4 words. Issaro, Lord or God. This is Ishvara in Sanskrit. Nirodho, cessation of happiness or of unhappiness or of perception, sensation, or mental states. It can also mean peace of mind or calm. Paribhajako, the wanderer. Maharaja, the great king or the king. Here, Rajan is the consonantal declension, has the consonantal declension, but in the compound, it loses it. So, nominative singular as Rajan, here Maharaja, but the rest follows the A declension on stem of short A. So, accusative is Maharajam, but the nominative plural may be written either with long A or with ano, so Maharaja or Maharajano. This might be a little bit confusing. In compounds, words sometimes lose their characteristic stem, the new compound words being assimilated to the A declension. So meaning the Rajan is a consonantal declension, but here it is in compound. It loses its, for the most part, its consonantal declension features and becomes declined as a noun in short A declension, for the most part, but not in nominative singular because it's Maharaja, and in the nominative plural it can be both. It's a bit of a hybrid, either Maharaja, which would be according to short A declension, or Maharajano according to the consonantal declension. So this is not a fully hard and fast rule, it seems. Okay. Purnadasanaya Tava Bhaveya Subham Mangalam.